piu. Ka mai, he rawe te wairua. Kia ora whai, Jackie.
Kia ora.
Whakatau tuatai.
Tēnei au ka tuk, te tuku mihi atu kia koutou. Kua hui mai nei mō te hui tuatai mō te wāroa, neha. Kua hui a whanau, anō, nō reira pai ana piki te atu kia koutou. E noho ora ana i tēnei wā. Nō reira i tika ana māku te tuku mihi atu ki tō tātou nei atua. Kia arahi mai a tātou katoa i runga i tēnei huarahi Māori. Kia pai te ara, kia pai te huarahi mā tātou nei tamariki. E noho ana ki te runga o Mauka i tēnei wā. Nō reira, ka huri atu kia koutou. Kua hara mai ki te tautoko mai. Anō i tō tātou nei whānau, i tēnei whānau o he pō mai i rangi Aotea. Kua roa te wā, he maha ngā kaupapa e whai ake nei mo tēnei o ngā hui. Kia tai e tātou te ki te kei whia koutou, mō koutou whakaaro, hei arahi i te ara, kia tai e mātou ngā kaiako, te mahi kia tika, kia mahi mua koutou whānau, mā tātou nei tamariki. Nō reira e tika ana te huri atu ki ngā kaiako i konei, mō tō koutou, mō tātou nei whakapaukaha, aha ko ngā wero, kua puta mai i Wainganui i ngā tau e rua, nō reira tēnei te mihi atu kia koutou. Ki ngā mātua anō hoki tēnā koutou katoa. Moto tainga mai ki konei, kia whakaatu mai. Kei konei tonu tō ngākau hei tautoko mai i a mātou katoa, ngā kaiako, ngā tauira hoki i raro i te haumaru o te kura orohi kohana. Nō reira, tēnā koutou ka tēnā tātou katoa.
E hara i te mea doi nai ane i te aroa nonga tupuna i tuku iho
Ana, e tika ana māku te mihi atu kia koe mō tā tautoko mai hoki. Hei māngai mō ngā tamariki katoa o he pō mai i rangi Aotea. Tēnei atu kia koe, te maniti ori nei, nō reira anō tēnā tātou katoa.
Kia ora.
Ka whiha atu te rākau, kia koe e te boss.
Neha. Awa, o tērā pia tuitahi ka whakawhanaunga tai kōrero ko wai koe, ko wai au tamariki, tō pepeha pia. Nō reira he huri tēnei no te rekereke o te maunga tapua taranaki, ki te taha o tōku karaua no Ngāti Mania Poto, ki te taha o tōku pāpā no ngā kui nui tonu. Nō reira, tina koutou mō tō hara mai ki te tautoko mai, ki te whakawhiti kōrero mō a tātou tamariki nei.
Tēnā tātou te whare, ko wai au, ki te taha o tōku māma no Tainui, ki te taha o tōku pāpā no Ngāpui, i tipu ake au, ki te taha o te kohe, te rākau o te kohe, arā ko puke kohe. I reira i tipu ake ahau, ki te taha o ku mātua, o ku kuia, tōku koro hoki. I tipu ake au ki reira, i kiki au i oku mātua me oku tūpuna ki te kohi riwai, ki te kohi aniana, ki te tapahi kāpiti, ki te kohi karoti, e rā momo mahi. He mahi ua, koe rā te tikanga ko tāku, mai oku tūpuna koe. Kia ora. Koe te kai ako, kei te ako manga iwa, tau toru ki te whā, nō reira. Tēnā koutou.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko hoki mai anō ko te hui. Ko Zara Johnson tōku ingoa, ko au te kai ako i roto i tēnei ruma, mō ngā tau rima, tau ono, anō i tēnei tau toru i roto i tēnei reanga. He uri ahau no Ngāti Mania Poto i te tau tōku māma, i te tātou pāpā he wiki au no Ngāti Kahunguni ki te Wairoa me Ngāti Hine. Nō reira, tēnā kaitanga.
Kia ora.
Kia ora whānau ko Mākere tōku ingoa no Ngāti Kahunguni ki Wairapa, tōku pāpā. He kai ako tonu aka. Ako, he kui ai. Ia pēpira. Kia ora whānau.
Kia ora.
Māo.
Kia ora, i te taho tōku pāpā no ngā Puriahau, ki te taho o tōku rāna no Tauranga Māna.
Kia ora.
Ko Steva te tūngang ne o tōku rāna, ko Steva te pāpā o Maia. E haere ana au ki te tōku i tēnei kaupapa i tēnei rā, o reira tēnā koutou.
Kia ora.
Kia ora. My name is Charlotte. I am the pre-Demetrius and Chloe's mum. From Māpua.
Kia ora. Tēnā koe.
Kia ora.
The cousins.
Nahini te mua tōku ingoa, no te whārua o Ruapuki a hau, koe te mama o Ahipene me Naio.
Kia ora. Tēnā koe pā.
Kia ora whānau, I'm Jackie and I'm Shay, Jack, Colin and Skylar's mama.
Ka whai pā.
Kia ora whanau, been here a long time. Feels like a long time.
She's halfway there.
Halfway there, yeah, nearly finished. He uri tēnei no mai tūhoi. Ko Ngātaki ingoa, ko taku kuturo, ko Emily, kei roto i te aku mana o Waiasara. So I had my twins come through here. They are now at Ngā Tapuwai. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Oh, pera ki au. Koe he tiri o...
Te ni me te mano.
Ai. No te au pauria hau no Ngāti Parau. I tika ki au i Owairoa, i Paparoa. Howick, they call it Ayanema. Engari he aumi maha I awawa. So tata ki otara, koina te playground. Tata playground nau awa. Engari, ai, I tuku aku au I Manureo o reira. Nā mihi kia tātou katoa.
Tēnā koe, nen. Tēnā koe.
Kia ora whānau, ki kōle tōku e mā koe te mama o Haurami me Amorangi.
Kia ora whā.
Kia ora, my name's Mal Tai Hong. My tamariki is Tai Pū Elizabeth and my buckles is Cullen and Tirina. Kia ora.
He rāra ki roa, long list.
Moko tuarua.
Kia ora whānau,
Kia ora.
Gaze tōku ingoa, ko Tiberius Raua ko... what's his name? Tamariki.
Kia ora.
Oh, weird. No, different.
Nā reira, tēnā koutou katoa. Me timata mai tō mātou pauaka nei. Ka huri te rākau ki a koe mā wuka.
Tuatahi, nau mai haere mai whānau hau. So I've got Chloe, me ana Tungane, Te Maru, Te Rina, AJ, Harley, Orion, Nijan. Those are our new whānau so far this year. And farewell to our old whānau. Got little Tyrell up there. Tyrell's gone. Cyrus, Samara Lee, and Huirangi, and Te Haumaru. So, aroha, tapu te aroha tātou. So, hoki mahara ki te, anei te whakatauki mō te taunei. E pāna ki te harakiki, and it's about transforming our students, transforming them to become better than what they already are, and helping them to better excel this year with their mahi. Also, over here, because I'm doing the graduate profile, it's about our school values. For those who don't know, or you do know, we've got 9 values, and it comes from whakapono, our school motto, whakapono ki a koe. And what I love about that is when we actually created that as a staff, they had all sorts of reo Pākehā, Māori, Hāmoa, kei roto. But my Rosalie, if you remember her, she was tino ki te kaupapa, she said, oh, so kia tonu tātou hei whai tēnei huarahi, so our uara come from our tupuna, so you know, from us, and so that's what we were doing tēnei, e te timatango tēnei tau, just establishing from our values, our graduate profile. Now, also, what have I got here? Te ko te maiti, te pūtaki o te kaupapa. The child is always at the heart of the matter, and that's what we go by. Now I'm talking about SLCs, and I want to thank you again. Yay, coming to our SLCs. I know it's student-led conferences or student learning conferences, and I apologise now that I didn't give you the chance. It's a really awesome time for us to brag about your child and the learning that we've had when we think we've had a short term with the COVID lockdowns, you know, to be able to come with whanau, and we know kānohi ki te kānohi is really powerful for us, you know, and your part that you did was doing the goals with them. And that's another really, really important part too. You're telling us about your child, what you know, and then when you come, haere mai mama, when you come, you're telling us a bit more about your child. But also what's cool is that we can actually tell you about your child and what we've learnt about them. And so I just had a really successful SLC. The SLCs help us with our report writing. So our report writing is coming up this term. And if you came to those SLCs, cool, you actually know what we're going to talk about because you've had a snippet there. Your talents are amazing. Term 3 will then have another SLC, which is again to, if you have any pārtai about those reports that you didn't understand. But the beauty is you're on the waka. Hey, Maurere, he waka eke noa, we're all in this together. So you're on the waka, and I just want to, I know I've got my little darling here, but I mean, things like this to me is really important. He didn't have a school uniform, but he wore our school colour. I mean, thank you for making an effort, and my babies with their hat, thank you, that's a big deal. I said, we're making an effort as a whanau. Hei tauira tātou ki a rātou katoa, you know, because it just starts from the home. It actually starts from the home. So we're really grateful, whanau. So thank you for the SLCs. And, of course, I've written here, if you didn't make it, are you filming me live?
Of course.
Oh, you're not? Oh. Okay, we'd still like to see you for your parents who are busy with tangi and other things like mahi and couldn't make it. We still love to do the face-to-face, you know, to see where your child's at, because we know it's a partnership. We're all in this together. He waka eke noa. We can't do our part if we don't have the awhi at home, and the awhi at home we should be able to enhance and awhi you here at school. Now, you know this here graduate profile, you know over the years we've tweaked it, and if Waipare's got copies for you to read, and we've tweaked it because if other things have arisen throughout the years, we've tried to incorporate it into our mahi with our tamariki. But anyone have any question? I might just go twice. Boom, I'm done. Kia ora whanau. Did you understand what I said? Okay, I'll just
Kōrero anō tā.
Kumatu?
Yeah, ka maumahara te katoa.
Kia ora, ka whai Zara. And move it again. So our kaupapa ako mo te wāhanga nei. Ko te pūtai au me ki science. And our kaupapa, ngā āhuatanga me ngā panoni matu. So that is changes of matter and properties and changes of matter. Ka pai. So have a look at this slide. It looks all technical, but it's really not. Ka pai. So we just have liquid, solid, gas. And what it is, how the gas changes into a liquid, how a liquid changes into a solid, and these are all our kupu. Ka pai. Have a squizzy. This is where our tamarika are making slime. And our other kaupapa that we're looking at is chocolate. So I actually picked this kaupapa because I love chocolate, but the kids do too. So what we're learning here is how we started with something mild or something hard, then we melted it, and the kids had a turn at melting the chocolate, and then we put it in the moulds. So tamariki are learning from maro to a liquid, and the whakatio to freeze, and goes back to it being hard. And then what we did was we put it in some moulds and made chocolates for our mamas. Now, if your tamariki was in my class, you should have got some chocolate. If it didn't get if you got a half full mould, so your child ate 3/4 of it, and you put that for this for mama, this little bit for mama. Ka pai. So with our pūtai kaupapa, much of our mahi is experiments, so hands-on stuff where the child can see, touch, eat. As you can see. So I'll hand Pio Te Rākau kia koe.
Right, so anei taku kaupapa kōrero. I just wanted to reiterate again the importance of our reo. I've been learning, I started learning te reo Māori 9 years ago now. It's been 9 years since I started learning te reo. So I started learning this as a young adult. I didn't grow up in Te Ao Māori. I think some of you have already heard this kōrero. I grew up not wanting to know anything to do with Te Ao Māori, culturally, anything. Nah, wasn't for me. I saw Māori as being koretake, as being pōhara, as being just good for nothing. That was my thought, because every time I looked at my family, it was all right. Until I started learning the reo. I went to Te Wānanga Takiura, on the Kura Kaupapa Māori, and that's where my journey began. It was the start of this enlightening experience of how things started to be revealed to me just through learning te reo. Because alongside the reo comes our tikanga, comes our hitori, and there's so much emotion and there's an understanding that comes into play when you finally understand why Māori are who we are. So, our children, our tamariki are blessed to have these opportunities to be able to learn the reo here at Kura. And I think for us as I wanted to come back into the learning alongside your tamaiti. If you don't kōrero Māori, it could be a matter of just asking them how to pronounce the kupu, or getting them to teach you a kupu hou every week or something, or a phrase, i roto i te reo, and making that a part of your vocabulary at home. The journey our kids are on is, it's not an easy one, but it's definitely beneficial to them in all areas of their life. Yes, academically, but also that taha wairua, that's going to keep them grounded, and it's going to give them this purpose, this identity for pulling through for our people. My whole vision of this all is not just to look at the individual tamaiti, but to look at our all Māori and what that is, and how important that is that we change it. And how is that going to change? It's through us. It's through our tamariki. It's through you guys being here to tautoko i te kaupapa nei. I put up here as well, if you struggle or you don't speak te reo and you're lost at home sometimes on how to help your tamaiti because your tamaiti is too onto it, it's just akina. Just continue to encourage our kids on this huarahi. Don't compare them to our monolingual learners, kids who are learning in one language, whai atu tērā huarahi Pākehā. It's going to look like, academically, they may be ahead at some stage, but there are definitely bilingual advantages that start to unfold as the years go by. So it's being patient with that journey and understanding it's a beautiful one that they're on, because it's not just thinking academically, cognitively in the brain, but it's the whole person that we're helping to develop. So I wanted to put out there too, is that, so steering away of what's up there, is, I don't know if any of you here are interested in, now I'm not saying I'm going to teach te reo, but, if there's some of you in here, or even in the whanau or he pō mai rangiatea, e hia ana ki te ako i te reo, that wants to learn the reo. You found a night class, but you're too whakamā to go on your own, let me know. I'll come with you. I'll tautoko you on your journey. If you are already on a journey and you might be stuck with your huarahi, I don't know how to say that, come and see, I teach your kids, I might as well teach you too. It's fine. I'm here as a resource to help te ao Māori. Your kids are my kids, I don't have kids of my own. Your tamariki are my tamariki. So if it's going to help them to succeed by helping you to succeed I roto I tō ao, then whaki mai. Let me know. You know, even if it's just on another āhuatanga Māori where it's like you want to go learn to do rāranga or step into something else, but you just don't want to go alone, let me know. I'll come with you. I'll help you. It just can't be Tuesdays, I got uni. But every other day, let me know, and I will come with you on that journey. You know, up until you feel that confidence to be able to move in that all on your own. I think for me, I'm here not just for them, but for you too, to help us all move together and push forward. So I just wanted to put that out there. And if you have any suggestions too for the huarahi ako, you know, maybe you are matatau ki te reo, matatau ki te ao Māori, and you've got a suggestion, again, let us know. We'll do anything to hapai this ao hapai this huarahi for our tamariki, for our whanau whānui, and to build that whakawhanaungatanga I Wainganui a tātou. Nō reira, koe rā tāku, me tēnei.
Oh, haurua mai te rua. I tried to give them all the kōrero so we would finish at 5 to 3 and I'll just have to close, but it's only 2:30, I've got half an hour. Whanau, soon I'm going to open up the floor, but I just want to touch on what Whaiazara was saying about that whakamā. Some of our tamariki are still whakamā and still don't feel like it's normal to kōrero Māori in the hapori, in the community or wherever they go to. And I guess I've got 2 moko who right now are in kōhanga reo, and our babies are the best teachers. They teach us a lot. They teach us about the strategies we use. They teach us about what's they teach us about patience, and they teach us about how a second language learner learns. Now, Whaiazara, as humble as she is, didn't mention it. The degree she's doing, or the course that she's doing, is called a TESOL course, and it's for those who specialise in second language learners, which really are what our tamariki are. If the reo is not whāngai at home, in ngā wā katoa, they weren't raised in the reo, then they're classed as second language learners. But in saying that, we've got a lot of our whānau that are strong with the reo at home, and we do what we can do as kaiako e kura. So I just want we're fortunate to have your skills and you going out there and kohi māramatanga and marautanga for our tamariki and mātauranga, and so ngā mihi ki a koe Whaiazara. Before I open the floor, whānau, are there any pātai about anything that's been shared so far about our wahanga ako, what we're learning at kura, the reports, the SLCs? I don't like the word SLCs, but it's basically a hui taki toru when we get together and your tamaiti talks about their learning journey. We need a Māori whakaaro around that. Sounds so, I want to say white because I'm so racist. Nah, it sounds so white. But e kōrero anō tērā. So what I wanted to put out there is maybe you have aspirations of your own for your own tamaiti in the reo or in kura here. But you might have a kaupapa that you think, gee, I think the whānau might benefit if they were doing this, this and that. And even sometimes it sounds like it might be a bad idea, sometimes it's a really good idea. Somebody brought up, I think it was Whaiazara the other day, about rāranga. We would love to teach rāranga. The thing is finding those resources or the person who could come in and awhi us to teach the rāranga. Another thing is manu kōrero. One of the mums was saying to me the other week, is there a manu kōrero at this level? Well, there are manu kōrero for kura tuatahi. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of aspirations. You might have, you might be thinking, I want my tamaiti doing kapahaka. No, I want to see them on the stage all the time. That should be a massive part of their learning. And if that's a whakaaro we've had, then don't be shy to plant it out and throw it out there and get the conversation going. That's where everything starts from, somebody getting the conversation going. You know, if you want a whare nui, then just put it out here and we can get the conversation started. You know, but we can't action anything until we get the hia or the aspirations of the whānau. I was at a kohanga hui just the other weekend with the MOE, and one of the facilitators said is you to ask the whānau, the nannies, I'm one of the nannies, do you have aspirations? And a lot of that generation who are in the kohanga, they're young. I was the oldest one there. So, and I did have aspirations, and I've always had it since I've come into Ao Māori, and that was that my mukapuna speak te reo and can converse wherever they go. And I think the awesome thing about the reo now is it's here in the city. We don't have to go back to home to learn it. It's down the road here. It's all around us. So, you know, I thought to myself, no, there's no excuses. We've got kohanga here. Put my babies in kohanga. And so my aspiration was not only for my own mukapuna, my daughters, but for their cousins and their mates. So my aspirations went beyond my muku. And when I walk into this kura, my aspiration is for all of our babies in here. And you might have some for your babies. Your aspirations might be, I want them playing sport all the time and speaking the reo, you know, in the sports field. I want them online doing all the digital stuff and speaking the reo. That might be your aspiration. But if you have them, karafiwa mai, bring them. One of the pātai was asked the other week, how come you fellas didn't go into the kapahaka, I think it was Manukura Tuara? Yeah, the regionals. Yeah, as much as we would have loved to, it was just a really busy year last year, and with the lockdown and all these restrictions in place, I don't know how the kura out there did all that within the year. You know, they got their kākuhus all sorted, and man, I take my hat off to them. But, you know, that's another thing. That might be an aspiration. More our kids doing more kapahaka. And you might have whānau, or even yourselves, that could, if you want to put your hand up to come in and awhi mai. It's just got to get the conversation started. That's all it takes. So we've had puberty classes for our older ones, and one of the mums said, "Whaia, I like that our kids are learning about puberty, but they need to learn it from a Māori perspective, in a Māori lens." And that her aspiration was for her daughter to learn about puberty from a Māori point of view. And what a cool aspiration! Saints, you ever think about those aspirations that you might have already there, and plant the seeds by starting the conversation. Now this document, there is nothing new in here other than who the kaiako are for the year groups. This stuff in here has been a part of our unit for a very long time. Just on the first page there, it's no, don't worry about reading it, you can have a browse over in your time, but we'll just do a quick brush over it. So in the first whārangi there, it's just about our whakapapa and pepeha and the reo, which goes back to what Whaiazara was talking about, helping our tamariki to mau the reo, but through tikanga as well. Where it says to tohunga, so it says commitment to te reo, and then underneath those are our expectations. I've got to put the Pākehā there. Oh yeah, so those are the expectations where it says to tohunga. So when we're teaching, when we're planning, when we're teaching, putting together our kaupapa and our units, everything we do is based around these expectations. So through these, your aspirations might come out of one of these expectations. Okay, so for instance, an expectation tuarua, it says there, puta ai a waha me tinana ki te marae. So your aspirations might be, or I'd love for my boy to eventually sit on a paipai at a marae. Or I would love for my kōtero to be one of the kaimihi or kai kōrero for ope. Okay, so if you've got those kind of aspirations, not everyone wants their tamaiti to go to manu kōrero, and wouldn't take out the money kōrero, and that's pai. It might be just that you want them strong in something. And the reason why you might want them strong in something is because they're going to represent your whanau when you go home. They're going to represent you when you go to, I don't want to say party, when you go to an event. Okay? There is nothing more awesome than you telling your tamaiti to get up, go mihi, and they get up and karawhiua awaha. There's nothing, the awe is awesome when you see them. Even a basic karakia. You know, Matua Shane spoke one day, his nephew got up and did a karakia that he learned here in He Pōmai. And it just made him all, but that feeling when your tamaiti gets up and they're standing there, that tūrangatira and te ao Māori, is really awesome. Aira, koera tāku. So whānau, I'm going to open up the doors. Open up the floor. The doors. No, don't open the doors, it's makariri. Open the floor. Yeah. Yeah, he kōrero tā koutou. Who has an aspiration or a goal for the tamaiti? E maha. Yeah. I remember my girls when they were in school, I wanted them to be musicians. Of course, neither of them are a musician today, but I already had a goal for them. Yeah, sometimes you don't have anything for your tamaiti and you just, whatever they learn is all good. But if you have a goal for them, let us know and we can aki kia te whainga. Yeah.
Well, Whaipare's on the right track with him at the moment. Seeing him on the pie and all that, and hearing him get up and do mahis and stuff is what I'm looking at the moment, because then he's got his sisters in the background that can get up and do
Yes. Yeah, that's it why. We want them to be kaha and ngā ao e rua. Hey, aha ko te aha. Can stand up in both worlds. By the time they leave here, they should be able to stand up in both languages. Doesn't matter which, and they should be able to, by the time they get up there, they'll be learning to switch between the two easily. But while they're here, our main focus is to whāngai that taha Māori. Yeah, pai.
Yeah, just talking about that, one of my twins got picked for speaking at the Hall of Fame Awards.
Nice.
And, he was like, oh Mum, I don't like the way this person's done the speech. I said, if you feel that it's not right, take it back to them and tell them, hey, I don't want this. I'm doing it my way. So he did. He spoke up and he said, before I do this kōrero, I'm doing a mihi and Māori. So they changed it for all the speakers. They put a mihi first and then went into the kōrero about that person.
Ka pai. Yeah, and that's what we want them to do. Challenge things if they know if something doesn't sit right, or they know that they can hāpai something to he taumata anō. We want all our kids to be able to do that. Just last week we had one of our tama on the paipai for the first time, and it blew us away. Te ahi pene, whai was on, I don't know if he mentioned anything to you, but you know, when I got my kaiako behind me, he said, man, he was awesome, and commenting to him, that speaks volumes. Yeah, so I, koira. Yeah, kia ora whai, Mary. Yeah, I'm not saying come up with something right now on the spot. Just you got an idea, plant the seed, let's get everybody talking. That's what I love about our Facebook page, and it's been a bit dormant at the moment because obviously we're all busy and we just started a new term and it's heads down, tails up. But come here, whakamā, just put it up there. Will there be any sports this term? Was this and that happening? Things like that.
I like to see more katahaka.
Kia ora.
When my two older ones were here, there was a lot of it.
Yeah.
And through all of that, now they know when their father gets up to have mihi speak they know what comes straight after it.
They can tautoko.
And they always do it. Even grandfather's tangi, none of our males could do any of it. So it was my girl Shania that did it.
Wow.
She brought on a crowd, she mihi, and that was through coming here and then moving on, but it stuck with them, kind of thing. So from the beginning, I reckon learning, having that at a younger age, and then just growing with it.
Yeah. Kia ora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of kapahaka when my girls were here, and I like to see more of it before my little ones finish here.
Kia ora, ka pai whai. We just had a conversation the other day with us kaiako, we were talking about, let's start preparing our kids again and go into the next one. Yeah. Yeah, we missed it ourselves actually, and when Matua Shane left, we all looked at the guitar and I was like, I don't want to touch the guitar after he's been playing with it because he's the guru with the guitar. So we're all getting our mojo on with the guitar, and hopefully we're next level for our kids when we start teaching kapaka again or start getting back into it. Whaizara, at the moment we throw the guitar at Whaizara. Youngest gets it.
Yeah, well, I like know the least.
But learns the fastest, so. Yeah, nā, kia ora whai. Tēnā koe.
Just talking about, like, you know, the pronunciation and that, I have a problem with Emily and the twins at home. Like, Emily, I come back and she's like pronouncing it like how you used to hear. Twins come back, no, you're pronouncing it incorrectly.
Yeah.
So,
I guess if I could, I'll let you carry on in a sec, if I can quickly jump in there. So maybe the learning needs to be for the boys and just not to say, no, you're doing it wrong, but, he mita no tira. Yeah. So because the mita really is not wrong, it's just
I try
another.
to explain it to her, but she gets upset.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah, you're correcting me.
because I'm trying to explain it and then it's just like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started learning the reo at Takira, I had a two-way dialect. I'm not from two-way. But that's what I came out with, was a two-way dialect of the reo.
Yeah. I think our kids are fortunate in the city because back home, those tamariki are tūturu ki te mita. But in the city, our kids hear a lot of mita. And everyone says, your reo's all miki rapu. But when you think about it, the fact that they know a lot of mita, eventually it just makes them think more. Once they're old enough to know this whakahua belongs to this tribe, this one to this tribe, they'll be so diverse. But I guess it comes down to once they get to an age where they know I'm tūhoi, then they'll learn and take in their tūhoi mita. Tūtu ngā pui, hakarongo it is. Yeah. Yeah, I love listening to Pani o Papa and their podcast because they talk about all these issues. So, yeah, and raue te kōrero. Ai, hata kihi, right? But ai, kia ora whai, ngā mihi. I'll just take my potai off to you too, whai, because I know your pepes are half no Samoa, eh? Te papa, is that from Samoa? Is that from Charlotte? Is it Samoa, eh? Yeah. Samoa. Yeah, makes sense. The natural progression coming to Huarahi Māori. Yeah. All right then, whānau. So that's the wrap, eh? He kōrero anō. Don't forget, use our page, even if you want to come in and talk to the kaiako and go, hey, yeah, I'm just thinking about those aspirations. Yeah, haramai, our doors are always open. Ka pai whaizara. You got 6 minutes to do your karakia. Just on fire, Why too hoi. So are you in your last year of your second year? Eh? Yeah. So I just wanted to ask. So ka hau o whakaro mō tira. Hard work, eh? Yeah.
Mahana mahi.
Yeah.
So, yeah, takira's good. But yeah, if you're ready for the workload, then that's for you.
Yeah.
But you learn heaps of things every day, new things every day.
Yeah.
How every day.
Every day.
50 words a day.
Nice.
So yeah, that's hard work. But
Yeah. But
it's not one taumahi a week, it's like 5. 2 dates every week.
Hey, bye, you're in your second year. If you survive the first year and you're in your second, anyone can do it, eh? Nah, kia ora rawatu.
No mai.
Nai mai, haere mai ki taki taha. Kia ora rawatu, pai. What ka pai whai, Sarah?